Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we need to talk about the AI, especially the AI in Battlegrounds, Wars and more harder piece of content, because as we know there are different sets of AI, and the latter is definitely at times playing like it's smarter and more capable than Elon Musk and Albert Einstein combined, but then at times AI just seems to break down and it starts playing like if it was any more inbred it would be a sandwich. And it is extremely frustrating, and especially these issues have been brought to light because of the current meta in Battlegrounds. So currently in Battlegrounds, when you are playing the nodes, unless you have like a perfect counter, you are basically relying on AR Corporation when you use your highest damage output champions. And the results are so inconsistent that it's quite wild. For instance, in some fights, you can take a Hulk and you can still nuke down a MCOC, for instance, in 60 seconds, get to your level 3, get that massive physical vulnerability and then nuke it down. And then I have had the same matchup with the same ranks where just for no other reason whatsoever than AI becoming incredibly stingy, I end up doing 30% damage and timing out. That's it. Nothing else can be done. Because if it doesn't throw a special attack, you can't hit it. If you can't hit it, you can't do damage. And in the current Battlegrounds meta, every 5 seconds or every 10 seconds, they are gaining this. Every 5 seconds, they gain a prowess buff, and then that reduces the damage output that you do. And by the end of the fight, you do 0 damage. And I have heard it from so many top-end players that are finding the game just virtually unplayable. That is putting all other issues of the game, bugs, inconsistencies, Battlegrounds matches breaking down or what have you, cheaters, all of that stuff put aside. Talking now specifically against AI. And there are, aside from what I just mentioned, it completely, ruining and really randomizing Battlegrounds experience, because AI just seems to quote-unquote break down and then be about as sharp as a bar of soap and just sit back and do nothing. Dash back, doesn't even try to parry you. It just tries to slide back, does nothing, doesn't want to throw a special. And of course, there's going to be some trolls, in comment section. Oh, it's a skill issue. Everything is fine for me. Sure, yeah, okay. Maybe you are more skilled than I am. Maybe you're much more capable than me, Lizer, and half the other content creators or top tier players in the higher level alliances. Sure, whatever. Maybe we're all wrong and AI is perfect, even though I have heard on Kabam employees' streams as well as recently as a couple of weeks ago, them openly admitting that there are active issues with the AI that, they are quote unquote working on, but that's been already a while back. That was before the previous update. Therefore, I had some actual sort of hope that this update is actually going to make the AI more, reasonable and consistent. But it hasn't. It really, really hasn't. And there is more to it. Because on top of AI seemingly just breaking down, there are many champions that seem to have insane recovery times now. As one of the best examples right now that I have had in my Battleground streams happened to me like 4 times is Nick Fury. Now, ever since Nick Fury was released, you could punish his special one even if you blocked all of it, and then you still had enough time to dash in after it. Somewhere in the middle, just to make sure that I leave myself a bigger window, don't get parried, I started dexing out of the final part of the special one, and then dashing back in, because that seemed a lot more safer. And within last month, I have gotten parried like 5 times doing that. Or Nick Fury just flat out dexes out of it. Which never used to happen. Which clearly tells us that Kabam is fucking with the AI. And they are reducing the recovery times. And that is, making many matchups not just significantly harder, but borderline impossible or improbable to do. If that might not be the case with Nick Fury, where if Kabam actually openly states you cannot punish his level 1 anymore, well, first of all, that would be a big step forward in terms of transparency if they would actually let us know. Then there are some other champions where that is even more important, and in this case, I'm speaking with Kindred. Kindred now can just randomly parry you or dex out of you punishing his level 1, even if you do the dash in, block the swarm, and then try to hit him. Trick that we all kind of used to learn. And punishing his special attack obviously is extremely vital to the game. Again, to the point of difference where in this meta, if I manage to dash in, get hit in a block, and then actually land a hit after his level 1, I have done this fight in, I don't know, 40, 50 seconds with multiple champions. And then with those same champions, I have either timed out or taken 90 seconds or something like that, because you need to wait out his swarm and degen mode. Because if he throws a level 1 and you can't punish it, then obviously he just supercharges his charge gain and enters his stupid degen mode that much faster. And again, it's kind of like a lottery now. And I have had this happen with multiple champions like Juggernaut, like Longshot, like Hulk, a handful of others, where there is no seemingly, one common factor. Not like only XL champions or only champions with this type of medium or something. It's just the recovery time is insane. And more kind of like inexplicably insane stuff is starting to happen with AI as well, which I kind of want to categorize on a random pile of Kabam bullshit, where obviously AI now is an expert sidestepper. There are more and more random dexes from AI whenever you are dashing in at them. They, know perfectly well how to punish you trying to intercept them by just throwing a random light, and so on and so forth. Yet despite of this, Kabam has never really commented on changes to AI in any official capacity. There has never been a post about AI. And as far as I know, the last official word from Kabam has, or however many times they have commented in past, is that we don't just change the AI, or we have never changed the AI, or we don't do it, it's all in your heads. And therefore, I do think it's extremely high time Kabam actually puts on their big boy pants and make a post about what the fuck is happening with the AI, because I swear to God, it turns from a fucking genius to an inbred toddler in a blink of an eye in every other match. And it is genuinely making most competitive aspects of this game unplayable, as well as just casual. Like yesterday when I was doing my symbiote event, it happened to me like in 3 different matches where AI just wouldn't throw a special 2, I end up baiting it forever, then I inevitably eventually make a mistake because I get frustrated, they get themselves to the level 3, and I eat it. And that happened on every fight on the path in the side quest, because it had like 3 paths. Now I managed to survive it because the attack values weren't super high, but it was just so frustrating. It really made me want to throw my phone in the wall. So, on a side note, I do think that there is a reasonable way how to solve this problem temporarily until Kabam actually sorts out the problem with AI. And that is something that they have done in the past. Just put on the aggressive node on virtually everything. If they put on the aggressive node, that does make AI more predictable, because they are more likely to dash in at you and throw their special attacks and so forth. So that makes playing the game, easier and more fun. And again, much more consistent, which is the important thing. I understand that, not every time you try to bait out the special attack, your opponent's AI has to throw it immediately. But we are approaching like absurd levels of AI bullshittery where you end up baiting out the special attack for like 40 seconds in a Battlegrounds match. Given that a Battlegrounds match is 2 minutes, that just automatically means you lose. In any kind of like reasonable, more or less equal scenario. If ever AI decides to wait and not throw a special attack for about 40 seconds, that means you lose because of AI bullshit. Because not every champion has power control. In fact, like less than 10% of the champions have any meaningful amount of power control, I would say. And then if you are in a competitive match with a similarly skilled player, where, you know, both you have drafted relatively reasonably, you're effectively just hoping that AI doesn't fuck you over. But it does, time and time again. And at that point, you're tilted. At that point, you'd already stop enjoying the game and you start getting frustrated. And you start playing worse. And then the AI strikes again. You're just screwed. It is such a bad experience right now to try and be a competitive player. And again, it's not just me. I have heard it from Liza and a ton of other competitive players. AI is just awful right now. And there has been a change, 100% to it within the last couple of months. And we do need some answers from Kabam, because it is genuinely ruining the game experience. I don't know what else I can say on the subject, aside from the fact that I really hope somebody from Kabam watches this video or had planned on making a post already before I released it, but we need to know what the fuck is going on with AI and when it's going to be fixed. It's as simple as that. And meanwhile, just put on that stupid aggressive node so we can actually play the game. Let me know what you guys think. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information